W4CY Radio affiliates. We make payments on our website to W4CY Radio affiliates. W4CY.
Hello, W4CY listeners. My name is Nitzan Mosri, and I'm the Traveling Investor. This is where you're going to learn how to master your mind, body, and wallet. I'm an entrepreneur, coach, and investor, and I've spent my life studying and following the habits and mindsets of highly successful people. With that knowledge, I've created a lifestyle business where I live life on my own terms. I'm on a mission to share my knowledge of life on your terms. Thanks for joining me as we dive into raw awakening.
I noticed that last week it was 17.
What's happening, travelers? Nitzan Mosri here, the Traveling Investor, and welcome to another show of the Traveling Investor Show. And I'm here with my guy, my boy, Tom Zanes, philosopher extraordinaire. What's happening, my man?
Oh, my man. How's it going?
It's going great.
Yeah.
It's going wonderful. You know, things are moving and shaking.
Yeah.
Things are rocking and rolling.
Excellent.
How about yourself?
Things are good. Things are good.
Yeah?
A little stressful today. I've got a loan that's very problematic.
Problematic.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's shift that. You have a loan that is challenging, but it's
Very
closing.
challenging.
Right? What's challenging about it?
Multiple things. It's on 15 acres for one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In Florida?
In Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are you looking to do? Build?
No. It's a house on 15, but it's investment property loan, certain type of loan.
Uh-huh.
And 90% of lenders, they sell to the secondary market. They're restricted to 5 acres.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
So did you have to do anything creative?
I'm in the process of, I'm still trying to figure it out. Maybe pull
Maybe we'll pull a card and we'll see what happens,
Yeah.
right? Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Right? You never know. You never know.
Creativity is the only way.
Absolutely. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes you got to be creative.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've got some ideas.
You've got some ideas. Awesome, man. Before we go any further, guys, go to YouTube, check out the Traveling Investor channel, subscribe, like, comment, share. You know, this is how we get the word out to people. You know, hit up Tom as well on Facebook and Instagram and whatnot. You can find us there. You know, so well, we got some people coming in here.
Our guy got to go see his girl
So
last weekend. There we
pulled
go.
a card for someone who was asking if they were going to go see their girlfriend
Yeah.
that weekend, and the card came up to be creative, right? Or it was French friendliness or something like that with the trees,
Friendliness, right.
right? And now we're getting a nice note saying that he got to see his girl over the weekend. It was a
Excellent.
very nice visit. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. So congratulations. So
Right.
the card was right on the money.
That's right.
That's awesome, man. We pulled a card for
Yeah.
him so he could have clarity on
They
what
always are.
was going on, and it's amazing. It's fantastic. Very happy
Yeah.
to hear for you. Awesome. Yeah. So you know,
Maybe one of you can get some of this nice emotion going, like this gentleman here.
that's right.
Get a card for yourself.
Get a card, see what's going on. you know?
Yeah.
Bring something out, make something positive happen for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't be shy to ask the question. We're all struggling with something. So
That's right. And it's amazing that you talk about the question, because when we come back from our break in a few minutes, we're going to talk about mind hacking.
yeah.
We're going to go into the mind and how you can really get, you know, people talk about manifesting. Oh, just speak it into the universe, which is fantastic. Speak it, right? Absolutely. But there's a format, there's a way, there's things that you need to do and how to do it, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, we're going to talk about, and one of the things is questions. But it's
Yeah.
asking the question that will give you the answers, right? Because you can ask a question that you'll never come to the answer.
Mhm.
But then there are certain ways, and I don't want to step out of lines right now, but we'll get into it in a little, you know,
Yeah.
when we come back. So what does he says over here? He goes, I asked about starting my business and I've put things in motion. I am following the card's advice as well. Awesome, my friends. That is great news.
The cards are just a guide, though. The advice is you have the advice.
You have the answers
You
within
know the
you.
answers.
That's right. You have the
Yeah.
answers. The answers are within you. Sometimes
Yeah.
we're afraid to look with true eyes at the answer,
Yeah.
right? But the cards, they just make you look.
Make
They
you
just
look.
put it right there in front of you, and you know at that point, you can say, okay, and disregard, or you can say, okay, and let me go into it. So congratulations,
Yeah.
man. That's fantastic.
Good to hear that.
Can you pull a general card to see how it relates to everyone? Absolutely, we can.
Everyone, how? What do you mean?
For a general card, you're saying, right? Or what's
For the world, or for
people listening,
this
for the
our
show right now?
and
Right.
you guys and all of us.
So you see, the cards are fantastic. So we're
Love
going to
the
talk
cards.
about mind hacking. We're going to talk about what we need to do to be able to really and truly create whatever we want in our lives. If it's more income, happiness, a relationship, a certain lifestyle, right? How is it that you go about and do it, right? So we're going to talk about that. So what I say, you pull a card and everyone listening can apply to it how they feel about it.
The general
Okay.
card.
So I'll shuffle and we'll have Senor Philosopher. You want to pull for
Okay.
everyone?
Yeah.
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 All right, man. Focus.
All right.
Focus. Here we go. Here we go. And we're spreading the cards out, and Tom is taking a little focus.
I'm gonna do your way.
And here we go. Rock and roll.
All right.
And actually,
What-
the cards are laid out very nicely if you can't see it.
Guide
So
me
here
to
we
the,
are.
to the best card
Here we go.
for all of us
There
for
we go.
today.
And he's taking the right hand and he's just feeling the cards right now. It's all about energy, you know. And if you want to get more sensitive to the energy that you have, there's a very simple way of doing it. Start rubbing the palms of your hand with the thumb of the other hand, right?
Mm.
So if you're working your right palm, take your left hand with your thumb and just start rubbing it, right? Nice and warm, get it warm, and then do the other side as well. That stimulates the energy in your palms. And then put your hands together as if in the namaste position,
Oh no.
right? Put your hands in the namaste position and then feel as if there's a ball of energy right in between your hands, okay? And now you can start playing with it. And that's one way of feeling your energy and knowing with your energy. All right. So the reveal. Awesome. This is a great card,
This is
man.
a great card. You
It's
like
a
this
great
card?
card.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Fighting.
Right?
We've seen this one before.
It's the action of doing something, right? It is the action. What kind of deck should people start with? You know, I've had my Osho deck for almost 25 years, 27 years. Yeah, 25 years. So, you know, that's the deck I started with, and that's the deck I use. I use shamanic decks as well. I use animal spirit decks. I use minerals and rocks as well. But my go-to are the Osho tarot cards. So you pull the fighting card.
Yeah.
And I heard when you pulled it, I was talking about the energy.
Yeah.
You were like, oh no.
Yeah.
So what is it?
For
What
some
is
reason,
it?
I don't know. I guess I have a negative connotation to this.
What is it? But the word fighting, right? Well, and you said it in like a defeat, like, oh no.
Yeah, like, you know, yeah, I'm just getting tired of fighting. That's all. I'm
You're
tired
getting
of
tired of
fighting.
fighting.
I'm tired of fighting with the cabal. I'm
Right.
tired of fighting.
Now, if you look at the card here, right?
Yeah.
He's in this iron suit, right, with
Right.
spikes and all that.
Yeah,
So he's a fighter. He's ready to battle,
Yeah.
right? But if you look at the screws, they're rusting.
that's right.
They're rusting, right? And does he have it here? No, he doesn't have it here.
These two.
Okay.
guys.
Then you have the clouds, right? So you have this person who is battling, right, and is ready to go to war, right? But the bolts and whatnot are rusting right here, so you can see that. And then you have the clouds who are also fighting. The clouds usually stand for the mind, right? Thoughts and fighting within yourself, you know. But this card actually says, you know what? This is a time when we can actually stop the fight if we understand that this too shall pass. The clouds over here, right?
Mm.
The past, the present, the future, right? If you're in the moment, then there's no fighting. You don't have to fight. You can just become one with yourself, and then this suit of armor will start to deteriorate and break away, right?
Okay.
So in a sense, maybe this card is telling us that now with everything that's going on,
Yeah.
this is a time when we can break out of this aggressiveness and try to feel the softness within ourselves and within other people.
Okay.
That's how I see it.
Okay. I like that.
Right?
Yeah.
So
And,
let's see.
and maybe that the fight's almost finished.
The
Maybe.
fight's almost finished. You're
Maybe it's
able to
finished soon.
start breaking out of that fight, because remember, it's in the mind.
Yeah.
So you just shift the thoughts of the mind, shift what you're focusing on, right?
Yep.
What we focus expands, right?
Yes.
So if we're focusing on the cabal, suddenly next thing, that's all we see is cabal.
Right.
And I'll tell you, I'll give you a great example. My wife at one point started looking at all these conspiracy theories about the chemical trails, about the water, about the this and that.
Yeah.
And every day she would send me things and she would go deeper and deeper and
Yeah.
deeper until one day she said, "Oh my God, I have to stop
Yeah.
because there's no end. You can continue." So imagine if you put that energy into positive
Yeah.
rather than focusing it on the negative, which is kind of what he's saying also, is try to shift, try to take that mind rather than being the fight. Let's come up with the solutions.
Yeah.
Because we can always argue with people.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 right? It's like I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they're in, they belong to a political group, they're a Republican group, and they were talking how they get together in these networking groups, and people just complain. Yeah, we don't have enough followers, we don't have this, but no one comes up and says, okay, so this is what I've done. We're lacking in followers, so I've created a committee that's membership, and this is what we're going to do, and we're going to go out and we're going to figure out, and this is the plan, right? Coming up with a solution. They don't do that. They just sit up there in the podium and they complain and they bitch and moan and moan and moan. That's also a type of fighting. So maybe we can break out of that, and rather than, fight the cabal, let's create solutions that will wake people up.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. There's always got to be a solution.
The mind that creates the
talk-
problem cannot create the solution.
Right. But the problem really shouldn't be talked about unless a
Exactly.
solution is offered.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. Here's the solution.
right.
Boom. Right?
Here's a problem, and here's how we're going to fix it.
Mm-hmm. Do you have to study to learn how to pull the cards and the meanings? Well, the Osho tarot cards come with a book that Osho wrote, and sort of kind of definitions and guide as to how and what the meanings are and the symbolism is, right? There are many books that you can read.
They all have that.
Right. There's many books that you can read on tarot cards, because there's major arcanas, minor arcanas, and there's the ascending, the descending, and each one of these has a different meaning. And also the different forms. There are different ways of laying out cards, right? There's 4, then there could be 8, there's 10, there's a diamond shape, and depending on where the card falls, this discusses different aspects and whatnot. So yeah, you can study that, you can read about it. We have Google or DuckDuckGo, where you can definitely figure that out and learn. And then, like I said, I've had these cards for 25 years, almost half of my life, and so I've connected with them. I understand that when I pull a card, I get the meaning. I understand what it's trying to tell me, right? Because I've worked with these cards for so many years. All right. So enough of us yapping. We're going to come back. We'll pull more cards. Okay. Did you study with Osho? Yes, I did study with Osho. I was with Osho for about 6 months in India, in Pune. I was in his ashram. It was amazing. And then after that, I went up to Jaipur and I did 10-day Vipassana silent meditation for 10 days.
Ooh.
You don't talk, you don't read, you don't write. If you smoke cigarettes, you don't smoke cigarettes. You don't drink coffee. You don't talk to people. There's no eye contact. You're just communing with yourself and your thoughts, and you sit in silent meditation for about 14 hours a day.
What did it do for you?
Oh, it changed my life.
Yeah.
It changed my life. Are you kidding me?
For 10 days, it sounds it better change your life, right?
Oh, absolutely. It made me, first, you have to understand that we've never had an original thought in our lives. People listening here today, people growing up,
Yeah.
I look at my kids, they don't have an original thought. They're molded by us. We're molded by our parents and society and school and what that, right? So we never have had an original thought about who we are.
Because every thought's already been thought.
Exactly. But it's somebody else's thought, right? So
Yeah.
I'm Jewish because my parents were Jewish, because I was told I was Jewish.
Right.
right? What if
Yeah.
I was born into a family that was Christian? Would I be Christian?
You'd be Christian.
Right. So it wasn't me that was choosing it. It
Right.
was somebody else imposing on me. I used
Right.
to eat a lot of steak and meat and animals, and I thought that was who I am. But
Yeah.
then I realized that, well, you know, is that really who I am?
Right.
Maybe it's not.
So once you figured that
So
out,
you figure that out,
start living by your own accord.
You start living exactly life based upon who you are, and these 10 days, that was part of what they did for me. They also showed me that, like in this card right here, the clouds, that these thoughts that we have, okay, they come and go. Don't get attached to them, man.
Yeah.
It just happens. Just let it fly by, right? Whatever it is, it's emotions, it's thoughts, they go, right? This too shall pass. And just a deeper connection between me and Mother Earth. And I felt during those 10 days that I was extremely connected to the planet. And not only that, but I was vibrating at a different frequency. I was actually telling the story to my friends last night. By the third day of Vipassana, I would go to sleep laying on my back, and I would do the breathing meditation to put myself to sleep. And then at 4:00 in the morning, you would hear the gong. That would be the wake-up gong.
Okay.
Bong.
What time do you go to bed?
Go to bed about 8, 9 o'clock at night.
Okay.
Okay. And we wake up at 4 in the morning.
Okay.
You get up, you get dressed, you do what you need to do, and you go straight to the meditation hall and you meditate for a couple hours. And then you have
Do you
a
have a
little
roommate,
breakfast.
or are you in your own
No,
room?
you have your own room. And then you have a little breakfast that is served to you, and there's no talking, nothing. And then you go and you continue meditating for hours, and then lunch, little food, and then, very minimal to sustain you. But I would get into bed and I would lay on my back, and then 30 seconds before the gong would go off, I would open my eyes in that same position, fully refreshed. Didn't move a muscle the entire night.
For 8 hours.
From 8 till 4 in the morning. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Didn't do anything. Boom. I would open my eyes and I would kind of like listen. Hey, wait. And I hear bong. I'm like, wow, that was awesome.
Yeah.
So from day 3 to day 10, when you're doing that for so long, your body, your mind, your vibration changes.
Yeah.
It's a physical. It's all energy, right? It's bullshit to say it's physical, right? Your energy, your frequencies start to shift. I highly recommend people just try, and if you want, reach out to me, and I'll go over different techniques of how you can go into Vipassana, how you can go into a meditative state. And it's not just silencing the mind, because the mind will never be silent. The only time the mind is silent is when you're dead. So it's expanding the thoughts expanding the space between thoughts is what we want to do. So you're slowing your thoughts and space them out. And then in that space of emptiness, nothing and everything exists. So that's where you can manifest things.
Yeah.
So you can pull things out and create. All right. We talked too much. So yes, I did study with Osho. All right, guys. We're going to listen to a couple of our sponsors. And when we return, we're going to talk about mind hacking, getting into that mind and figuring out how to really manifest everything that we want. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right.
So do you fall asleep easy at that thing, or?
Your list investor rate. Please listen to the sponsors who have a secret message just for you. Don't leave. The best is yet to come. The Traveling Investor will be right back.
You get a whole new curb appeal. It's not just getting directions to a dry cleaner with IP.com. It's rescuing an old favorite Find with what it's getting
Valley, South Florida's only fresh food tree, and we have FDA approved festival flea market and for 925. We are a variety of pets, bedding, appealers, veterinary admissions. $2,500. That's nine.
Now tuned into W4CY Radio.
Attention listeners, we are preparing once again for takeoff, so please return to your seats as W4CY Radio welcomes back your real estate guru, the traveling investor, Nitsan Mosery.
What's happening, travelers? Welcome back. Nitsan Mosery, the traveling investor, and I'm here with Tom Zames, philosopher extraordinaire. We want to give a shout out to everybody on Facebook world and everybody that's listening to us on W4CY.com. Let us know where you're listening in from. We'd love to know. So before we left the show for a break, we were talking about mind hacking. We were talking about, right?
Yeah.
How to manifest
meditation.
things, right? We were talking about Vipassana and Osho and whatnot. So during the break, we were talking with our Facebook people that when I was doing the Vipassana meditation, right, I mentioned I would go to bed, I would lay down, I would go to sleep on my back, start doing the breathing, and I would zone out until 4 o'clock in the morning, until 30 seconds before the gong. And it just shows you how in tune we are when we're vibing at that high frequency.
Yeah.
We are so in tune with everything, with nature, with when we have to wake up, with what's going on with other people around us, the energy and so forth. It was just phenomenal. And yes, Edwin, it is the gap between the thoughts, right? That's what we need to expand. When we can expand that gap between our thoughts, then we can go into that silence. And in that silence, we can manifest, right? So, Einstein has a great saying. He says, reality is an illusion, albeit a persistent one, right? It's an illusion because we're looking at it through a physical sense, but scientists know that everything is just matter that's vibrating. It's a frequency, it's energy. Right. It's just things, just particles, right? Even now, if I vibrate my hand fast enough, it'll disappear. Where does it go? The molecules start moving fast and whatnot, right?
And that's why there's ghosts. There might be a ghost in this room right now.
Absolutely. I believe that that we have, an energy that's living in the house. And I think it's I think it's the woman who she owned the house. She was a real estate investor, and she was going to fix and flip the house. Okay. And she went skiing with her fiance at the time, and she had a snowboarding accident, and she died.
Wow.
So when I'm sitting on the sofa, every once in a while, out of the corner of my eye, I'll feel something, I'll see something, or suddenly I'll feel someone, as if someone is sitting next to me in the living room.
Do you talk to her?
Absolutely.
What do you say?
I tell her, hey, we're cool. We don't want to bother you. We're okay having you here. We just want that same respect, and we won't mess with you, and you don't mess with us. Enjoy yourself, and let us know if you need anything.
I like it.
That's it.
You're very hospitable.
Absolutely. Whoever it is, if they need help getting somewhere, if they're stuck here, let me know. I'll help you. I'll help, see what I can do to help you move on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
But if you just want to hang out because you like hanging out, that's cool too. Just, when the door's closed, the door's closed.
Yeah.
Just because you can walk through it doesn't mean you should.
Yeah. Yep.
right?
Do you think that the people do that? Like, I mean, that means people have seen us like masturbating and having sex and
Well,
ghosts.
not
I mean,
people, but
ghosts,
energy,
right.
spirits,
So-
sure. So what?
So
Right.
what do they? What
Mhm.
Where do they get at? Like what?
Nothing.
I'm gonna tell them
nothing.
to leave from now.
You can tell. You can tell them. You can say, "Hey, you're not wanted."
I know.
Thank you, and then open the door for them.
Anytime I hear
Uh-huh.
some weird shit in my house,
Uh-huh.
I do. I say that. I say, any positive spirits, you
Mhm.
guys are welcome to stay.
That's right.
Anything negative or evil, get the fuck out.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Is it good to speak with the spirits around us? Absolutely. When I do Reiki, I call the spirits from the past, present, and future to come and to help and to assist in healing the person that is in front of me or that is distant healing. So I call upon all the spirits, spirit guides, masters, all the energy, all the powers that be to come into this moment now in the present time to help heal the person in front of me. So absolutely.
And they honor free will. They honor the contract. So if you ask them to leave, they'll leave.
Mm-hmm.
And they won't help you unless you ask them for help.
Right. Does it make them feel more comfortable when we talk to them? I think it does. I think it acknowledges their presence, their energy, right? So absolutely. There's absolutely no reason why not, right? Okay. So let's talk about, right? We hear a lot on, a lot of people talking, right? A lot of these, how do we call them? Spiritual teachers,
Yeah.
Coaches, talking about manifesting, right?
Mm.
What do you know about manifesting?
What do I know about it?
Yes, because I know that you practice some sort of manifestation technique and whatnot.
I do. Mine's kind of a natural technique that I always had that I didn't really even realize I had till I started reading books about it.
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay, I've been doing this since, I don't know, I want to say like in high school. I think I started, at least, I'm sure I did it more than that. Obviously, it's always in effect. So, but going back, I kind of get, for me, I'm very visual. So I get pictures in my mind of like different things, right? Like say I, see a girl that I like, I'll picture just quick. I'll run through pictures of me and her, me talking to her, me and her out on a date, maybe even me and her doing stuff. I can't, with her free will, of course. And what happens is, for me, when I have those images, they're imprinted into my mind. And I kind of forget about it. And if I forget about it, I'm not attached to it. So attachment's very big too. So there's the vision, and then there's also feeling it, right? So the feeling that you get, everything we want is the feeling of something, right?
Right.
We want money, we want this, we want this. It's because of the feeling that comes attached to it is what we really want, that feeling. So if we can imagine that feeling and get into that feeling while thinking about having it or visualizing that, it makes it so much easier to manifest and quicker, because we are vibratory beings and whatnot. And so just think about it. Those of you at home, later on tonight, think about something that you want and feel what it would feel like to have that.
That's awesome. So I'm going to break it down.
All right.
I want to break down everything you said into a system so that people can actually go about and do exactly what you just talked about.
Perfect.
Right? Because everything that you mentioned, everything that, the story that you described has specific elements to it to make it happen. Right? And you need to have all of these elements to make it come true.
Right.
Right? So the first thing was that you made a decision. Right? And it's funny, we talked about the thoughts, the space, the gap between our thoughts. The gap between our thoughts has all possibilities. As soon as you make a decision and you pick something, the universe senses that and now removes all other possibilities and says, okay, you're going to go for that one thing, and starts to really make things happen for you when you make a decision. That's why you hear a lot of successful people say, make a decision. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you made a wrong decision, make a decision. Because as soon as you make a decision, the next thing that comes is the belief.
Yeah.
The belief that you will be able to make that decision, right? I see that. That's, you know what? I want that car. Okay, you have now you have a belief that I want that car. I'm going to get that car, right? It solidifies the decision. So once you have that, first you make a decision. You have, yes, I want this pen. I want this car. Suddenly the universe starts working in your favor, okay? And it brings to you people and opportunities to help you achieve what you just decided upon, right? Then the belief of you wanting this and knowing that you can make it happen, right? Because a belief is kind of a decision. I believe that I can have this car. Well, if I make a decision that I'm going to have this car, your belief just became a decision.
Yeah.
You got to go for it, right?
Yep.
And then what was that thing that you talked about? That energy, we're all energy.
Yeah.
When you have a decision, and you set your beliefs that I'm going to make it happen, I'm going to achieve this, suddenly you've got energy. You're excited about it. You're passionate about it. You have your why, right? It's all encompassing in that point, right?
Yep.
So you start to have energy and you start putting energy into this decision, which you've decided upon and have a strong belief, which is now a knowledge and a belief and a decision that you're going to attain it. You start creating energy. You start creating a buzz. You start moving towards it. You start doing things. And when you're open to seeing the opportunities that the universe throws at you when you're at this level, right, you'll be able to make choices, right? And again, it's all about the decisions that we're in life. You make a decision to go after a goal, then you have to make other decisions to achieve that goal.
Yeah.
And behind that is another belief, is more energy, and it's just compounding. We've got some people talking to us over here. Let's see what they have to say. So what if you make a wrong decision without thought and it's wrong? Well, you know very quickly, and hopefully you'll learn that the next time when you make a decision, you'll put some thought into it, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you go with so when you make a decision, when I make a decision, I use thoughts and I also use feelings. So when I think of something like, all right, I could do this, I could do that. I feel which one feels lighter to me, which one feels, if I'm trying to figure out the truth, I try to feel which one feels like the truth. Everyone always tries to think about which one's the truth, which one feels like the truth. So I like to think and feel. Absolutely.
That's the mind and the heart. You have to connect, right?
Yeah.
And the great way of connecting the mind and the heart is by sitting in the namaste position. Because then the mind energy and the heart energy combine in the solar plex right below, and then they go out into your hands, and you can sit there and you can meditate on it and you can feel, right? When you're in a positive mode, your hands will probably heat up, or you'll feel like tingling sensation or water or whatnot. When you're kind of, off of your way, you might feel cold or coolness or, pain of some discomfort or whatnot. So it's all there. Should you think about things before and for how long? You should think about things, but make a decision. Make a decision quick, because the quicker you can make a decision, the quicker you can create the beliefs and the energy will flow to it, and you can start. If you need to make shifts and pivots to adjust, go ahead, but make a decision, man. Don't delay. Don't delay too long, right? It's one of those things that we call, analysis, paralysis by analysis, where you're just, let me just review it one more time. Let me just think about this. Oh, what about that? What about that? What about that? There's a great saying. It says 80% is good enough.
Yeah.
Right? Get started.
So if thinking about it pops into your mind, it feels good, feels right, take action, because the longer you wait, then all of a sudden doubt starts to creep in, and then that great idea, which still is a great idea, starts to seem like not a great idea anymore.
Absolutely.
And it's still a great idea.
Now, it doesn't say that you shouldn't do your homework if you're looking to start a business or something of that nature, right? Or to buy a house, if you're for an investment or make an investment, whether it be crypto and stocks, whatever it is. Do your homework, right? But don't overdo the homework, right? When you see the trend in the answers that you're getting, to be like, okay, you know what? This is a good investment. Oh, I see the numbers. Don't run the numbers 27 times just to make sure that they're right. You ran them 5 times, man, it's good enough. Buy the freaking house or don't buy it, right?
Yeah.
Shit or get off the pot, right? You got to make a decision, right? Successful people make decisions, right? They analyze, they go, and then they go with their gut, right? So the next part of it, we got if you think too much on something, will you talk yourself out of it? Yes, my boy Philosopher over here said that exact same thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you wait too long, whether you're thinking about it or too much or too little, I don't know if you'll talk yourself out. Yeah, you will.
You will. You'll talk yourself right out of the fucking deal.
You'll say it's a dumb idea. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. You'll talk yourself out of it, and then you'll kick yourself in the ass. Right. So be careful. That's analysis paralysis. That's thinking it too much, and then the opportunity is out. Right.
Yeah, happens all the time.
Happens all the time.
Especially with guys when there's the bar. Oh, there's this girl. I should go talk to her. You have to go right then. Because you wait any longer. You wait longer.
How many times, right? How many times we're like, oh, look at her, she's cute. And then your friend's like, yeah, go talk to Knack, and I will have another beer. I'll have another. And then you turn, and there's another guy talking to you.
Yeah. And
it happens all the time.
And if you go back in time, you'll realize that the times that you did meet girls, you didn't hesitate like that.
He didn't hesitate.
You didn't hesitate.
Absolutely. All right. So going back to mind hacking. Okay. So first, for you to be able to manifest anything that you want, you got to make a decision.
Okay.
Because once you make a decision, then all your energy and focus goes into that. Right. Don't start chasing the shiny penny. Okay. Then you got your beliefs, right? Beliefs are decisions, right? They're a decision. I believe that I'm going to have this. Well, it's a belief. Now you make a decision. I'm going to have this, right? Then that energy comes up. Now, we talk about choices, right? In life, you have a choice. You can either be happy or you can be sad. You can either be miserable or you can be enjoyable, right? So now comes the point where you have to be where you have to show gratitude for what you have, okay? Never looking at what other people are doing or, why aren't I, 2 years ahead of where I am right now? Shit, why isn't it going as fast as
competing?
Why? I want it to go like this. Look at where you are and be grateful, right? Because there are people out there that don't have legs and don't have arms and don't have bodies and don't have, anything, and they're out there. So if you have your hands and your legs and your feet and you can walk and you can breathe, and even if you don't have those and you can breathe and you have a mind, you should be grateful that this is where you are right now and this is what you have, right? This is such a big part of it, right?
Grateful for what you have and eager for more.
Absolutely. Now, once that happens, once that gratitude comes in and you've got that energy focused and you're going, guess what comes next? It's clarity. Clarity of knowing, clarity of vision, right? Helen Keller has a great saying. She goes, the only thing worse than being blind is having sight, but no vision.
Okay.
So even you can be a blind person, but still have vision, be able to see, right? What in Think and Grow Rich, one of those topics that Napoleon Hill talks about is the imagination.
Yeah.
This is where the imagination comes from, or this is where the imagination comes into play. You have your decision. You know what you want. You're going after it. You've got the energy. You're grateful for where you are right now. Now it's time, what I like to say, romanticize. Right? Romanticize.
I love how you say that.
Romanticize your life. Romanticize your decision.
Last week in the sentence. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
I like that.
So you start romanticizing, right? You start dreaming. Wow, how could it be? What could it look like, right? I want to live in a huge house. What does it look like?
Right.
Where does it come from? Where does the money to pay the mortgage come from? How do you see yourself walking through that house? Who's there? Who's living? You start feeling it. You start having clarity of vision.
Yes.
You envision it, just like you said. I have these pictures, and then they're embedded in my mind, and that's what the universe sees. It sees those pictures, and it says, well, hold on a minute. If those are the pictures in his mind, well, we have to start creating that. We have to start making it happen. That's the beautiful way of doing it. And scientists have figured that out with quantum photons and the jumping, and we're looking here and it appears there, and then we look over there and it appears there, and it just, what you focus on, the Buddha says, what you focus on expands.
Yes.
The imagination is where it all begins. So it's got to have clarity of vision, right? So we talked about decision.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about beliefs, then the energy, right? Then gratitude,
Yeah.
and then clarity of vision. Even a blind person can have vision,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
You don't need to have eyes to have vision. You need to have an imagination,
That's true.
right?
Yeah.
And then the last thing is you got to start asking the questions. You got to start asking the right questions, the questions that will give you the answers. Okay. It's so important asking the right question. For example, I used to ask people, do you know anyone that would be interested in blah, 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 whatever it was? And the answer was always no.
Yeah. Let me think about it.
Let me think about it. No. Right. But then I changed the way I asked the question. Who do you know that would like to get involved in
Yeah.
or be interested in or would like to participate, right? Then that question kind of says, well, who do I know? So it's all about the question, the way you question it, right?
Different set of a reaction in your head. when you hear
Absolutely.
that.
Absolutely.
No doubt about it.
For example, how can we solve this problem? Well, first of all, let's not call it a problem, and let's look at a different way of asking the question. If I want to buy a $250,000 car, I'm not going to say, how do I get the money to buy the car? I don't know. I have no idea how to get the money to buy a $250,000 car. I don't know. Do you have any? Do you know how to get
I
it?
don't know.
I mean, geez,
No.
right?
Let me know if you find out.
But if we
Let's figure it out right now.
Right. But if we ask the question differently,
Right.
right? So what do I need to buy a $250,000 car? Well, I need, one of the things that I could need money, right, to buy it. What else could I need? Maybe
You have to change your whole set of thinking.
change a whole set of thinking. Maybe I
know?
need a sponsor. Maybe I need to meet someone, right? What do I need? Again, it's all about finding the right question. And it's not as easy as
Right.
it sounds, right?
Right. Instead of saying, what's the problem or how do we fix this problem? What is this solution?
What is a solution?
How do we find the solution? So then your
Right.
mind is focused on a solution,
Exactly.
not the problem.
Exactly. Right. So when you're focusing on the solution, your mind and the brain waves and the universe
Right.
are helping to solve the solution, to solve the problem. In the movie, what was it? The mission with Apollo 11,
Mm-hmm.
right? When they were going through space and they were orbiting, and oh shit, oxygen. We just lost our oxygen, and what do we do?
Yeah.
Right. So they brought all the head guys, right, and they brought all the material that they had that the astronauts could use in that space capsule, and they dumped it on the table, and they said, okay, this is what we need to do. We need to get them A, B, and C, and this is what we need to do, and this is the material that we have.
Right.
We have to come up with a solution,
Right.
right? So it's not. And now imagine if he would have said, "Shit, guys, these people aren't breathing in the air. What do we do? How do we fix this problem? I don't know. How do we fix the problem? The problem is not." And they focusing on that rather than saying,
Yeah.
"Okay, this is what we have.
They would have died.
Let's find the solution."
Yep.
Right? What do we have to work with? What do we need to do? Right? Why? All these different questions. So asking the right question to get you to the answer, right? Asking the questions that are solution-oriented questions, not focusing on the problem.
Right.
I hope that makes sense.
Focusing
for
on the
everybody.
good, not the bad.
That's right. So those are the basic sections. Let's see, we got some questions here. So how does this relate to stinking thinking? If you think too much on something, will you tell you ask? How does that relate to stinking thinking?
What's that? Is that like negative thinking? Or?
I'm thinking that's a negative thinking, right? Stinking thinking. Maybe you got crappy thoughts and whatnot. Well,
it's the same thing. So if you're having stinking thinking, then you're probably not in a great mood, right?
you're gonna manifest whatever it is you're thinking about because you made a decision to think about that. You're clarifying it. You're putting energy into that, right?
Yeah.
So rather than putting energy into a positive thought, you're putting energy into this is a shitty thought, and I'm gonna sit on it, and I'm gonna manifest it, and I'm gonna feed it, and I'm gonna give it, and then you become that, and then you start acting in a way that this is going to be the outcome.
Right. Yeah, if you've got negative thoughts, you've got to change them because you're going to keep attracting the rest of the day on that same vibration level.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So let's quickly. I want you guys to get this because this is so super important, right? So super important. If you can work these things right now, we're breaking it down to steps. Exactly what Tom was mentioning in his story of how he does it, right? That's how everybody does it. That's how everybody should do it, right? Let's break it down into the steps again, right? So first, we made a decision.
Yeah.
We made a decision that this is what we want. Then all of our belief systems have to coincide and move towards that decision. We cannot have any doubt. There can be no doubt.
Yeah.
Right? Because what did the philosopher Jesus Christ say?
Ye who have no doubt, come see me in the kingdom.
Close.
I'm sure he said something like that before.
Yeah,
right?
he said the size, doubt the size of a mustard
Yes,
seed can
that's a
move
great one.
mountains.
I love
Can
that.
move mountains,
That's
right?
a great one.
So you cannot have any doubt. None.
Yeah.
Not even in your cellular level, in your DNA, there can be no doubt,
Yeah.
right?
And if you do, it's going to take longer, and it's
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And why? Why even have doubt? We all deserve everything that the universe will give us.
That's right.
We all deserve it. You, me, him, her, everyone, right? We all deserve it. So start thinking that way. And then the beliefs. So all the beliefs have to go that way. Then we start putting energy into it. We start focusing in on it, right? We go and we put energy, positive energy, right? And then we're grateful for where we are and for the journey that lies ahead of us. That gratitude is so important, people.
Yeah.
You can't go anywhere without it, right? That is probably the key to having it all come together, is that gratitude, okay? And then you got to have clarity of vision. You got to now you got to take that emotion, that positive emotion, that good feeling, vibey, warm feeling inside of you and say, yes, I can't wait to have this. I'm so excited. This is how my life is going to be when I achieve my goal, when I achieve my decision. I'm so excited about it. I can't wait to do it. I'm putting everything into it. And this is what it's going to look like. This is what it's going to look like. And you start creating it exactly, step by step, brick by brick, your hair to your eyebrows, everything. Clarity. And then you got to ask the questions that will bring you to the solution.
Absolutely.
Right? We got Rachel here says, trust that you are right when you need to be. Absolutely.
No, right where you need to be.
Right where you need to be.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We're always right where we're supposed to be, right?
Always.
And if we're not, that's still a great way to comfort yourself.
Absolutely.
That's what I always tell myself.
We're always, in times with the pandemic and people not paying attendance and whatnot,
right?
I'm freaking out, and I go, you know what? Take a deep breath. I calm myself. I say, listen, I trust that the universe will take care of me. It has taken care of me up until now, so there's no reason why it will not continue to take care of me.
Absolutely.
And then I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it because everything's going to work out. Everything's going to happen the way it has to happen. And there's no way that I can. I will do whatever it takes to make things happen. But what will happen will happen.
Everything that you can do, you're going to do. And then some
Exactly.
things are out of your control and the chips are going to fall where they may.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, guys. What's happening, Tucker? What's happening, Laureen? So, guys, it's been an awesome show. We hope you guys got a lot out of it. Listen to the show again. And take the mind hack steps down so that you can manifest anything that you want. Okay. Do me a favor. Go to YouTube. Check out the Traveling Investor channel. Like, subscribe. Do me a favor. Subscribe. Let's share these shows with your social media so that they can hear it. He's a subscriber. Finally, we got him.
I was number 98.
He was 98.
Yeah.
We got 99. I need one more
We
for
need
100.
one more. Who wants to be his 100th? Come on. Somebody on the call.
Be my 100th. Let's go.
Rachel,
you can do it. So
Big T.
So go to social media, check out the steps of mind hacking. Okay. Manifest everything that you want because you deserve it. There's nobody else. You're one in a trillion sperm that went in and you did it. You made it. So you're special. You're strong and you can do it. And if you don't believe in yourself, Tom and I, we believe in you as well.
Yeah, we do. We believe in everybody.
So this is my boy Tom Zames. I'm Nitzan Mosley, traveling investor, philosopher extraordinaire. We thank you for being here, and we'll see you next week somewhere on Spaceship Earth. Be well, guys.
Wow, what a great. If you missed any part of this episode or want to hear it again, go to the Traveling Investor podcast on iHeartRadio. You can listen to all past episodes on demand 24/7. Next week's episode